If this is your first time listening, go back to episode 1. Get out of here. Because this is not for the beginner. This is for the one who's already had the veil torn. Today we go beyond self-reflection and into historical exposure. Not to bash the church, but to name it what it became. A business model built on spiritual dependence. If they can make you ashamed of being human, well, then they can sell you the cure. Now, I used to think church saved us. And maybe for a while, it did. When war was constant, when death was close, when illiteracy reigned. Structure felt like salvation. But power don't just save, it adapts. What began as spiritual guidance became spiritual governance, and then spiritual greed. They took the deepest parts of us, desire, guilt, longing, shame, and they turned them into products. They didn't kill sin. They monetized it. Now, let me break this down with 3 simple system facts. Here's system fact number 1. Celibacy was commodified. At one point in European history, 55% of marriage was required to be celibate. Days were designated by the church when intimacy was banned. Meanwhile, the church profited off prostitution, indulgences, and confession fees. This wasn't about holiness, it was about supply chain management. They controlled the problem, then sold you access to the solution. Here's system fact number 2. They regulated sin to sell grace. Missed a confession? Pay up. Want access to heaven? Donate. Got caught in sin? Purchase indulgences. Felt like a Goodfellas movie. And if you couldn't pay, you stayed condemned. And if you think the idea of hell burns now, just imagine the pain it offered back then. Here's system fact number 3. They commodified the sacred. Fridays equals no meat. Why? Because the church owned fish distribution. Want to avoid hell? Follow the diet by the fish. What we call faith in this era was often economically enforced obedience. And the real danger, most people never questioned it because they were taught obedience equals righteousness. Sound familiar? Those are the facts. Now, God didn't build you to be a customer. He built you to be a carrier. So why are you still paying rent on a soul He already sealed? Let me ask you this. Are you still following a system that sells forgiveness but never teaches authority? Are you still loyal to rules that keep you guilty just long enough to keep you dependent? Because the spirit of what the church became, it still lives in the world today. In influencer culture, in prosperity lies, in self-help that never delivers. They don't want you healed. They want you addicted to healing. And just like the peasants back then, you'll keep showing up empty-handed and ashamed, buying what you already carry. But the kingdom ain't bought, it's remembered. And remembrance don't need a receipt. So here's my prayer for you. God, the infinite, my creator, break every structure I've obeyed that was not authored by you. Expose every system that made me feel ashamed so they could sell me salvation. I don't want permission to be holy. I want presence. I don't want comfort. I want clarity. And I refuse to buy back what you already placed in my blood. Let my remembrance be louder than their rules. Let my peace be proof that I've already been redeemed. And let every system still selling grace burn under the weight of truth. You own it or be owned by it. You either run the system or the system runs you. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.